Hey everybody, Kimberly Janelle. I was like Jacob, and didn't really consider myself an entrepreneur. I was somebody who just did a whole bunch of different things, right? And for the longest time, I didn't even consider myself an artist. I was somebody who had an admiration for the things of art, right? I loved dancers, and I loved how the way they move their bodies. Um, and hope that I could do the same, right? I would definitely pretend, but couldn't. I didn't have it down like that. I grew up in a very musically inclined family, and my dad and siblings played instruments. I was the singer, so we would, do our jam sessions as a family, um, and I sang. In my adult life, I used to joke that my resume looks like the war to Vietnam because I've been in almost every industry that you can think of. I worked for General Motors and drove a fork truck. I've been in and out of education for like 10 or 11 years. Came into the arts industry off of a whim. Like, I really didn't think it was something that I could do, but I got signed to like 4 agencies in the Midwest. And so I've had a billboard. I've had a commercial run during the Olympics, which was awesome. It was pretty awesome. I've shown up in places that I never imagined. Like, I've done some stock video and stock photos. One of my stock videos showed up in the Biden-Harris campaign commercial. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Wow. It was pretty cool. So I've done a lot of things, right? But underneath it all, I've always been this really nerdy girl. Like, I fell in love with tax in 2007, and I love finding the loopholes. Like, that excites me to find the things, that most people don't know. And so I just noticed that in certain situations, I was the person asking the nerdy questions. Like, we're on set, and most people are like, yeah, so who you with, Helen Wells? Oh, yeah. How long have you been with them? Oh, yeah, I do this. And I'm the person that's sitting back saying, you spent the night in the hotel, you got your receipt? Make sure you keep your receipt. Oh, you bought this for today? You got your receipt? Okay. You came from where? Did you check your mileage? You know how much? I'm asking those questions, right? And so there was a suggestion that I open for business, right? And I'm like, I help people, but open for business, what do you mean? And they're like, okay, think about a business, Kim. Like, some things that most people don't think about. We just think, oh, I want to open a business, And so I thought today, when I was trying to think, how could I creatively explain who I am? So here I go, right? Emily, open for business, cool. I know you're excited, right? Yeah. So there's some things that I want to ask if you've considered. Like, okay, Emily is an LLC, right? She's an LLC. What does that mean? Like, what does that really mean?
Liability corporation.
Yeah, but there's compliance that you gotta keep for LLC, right? So, do you know? Yeah,
I don't know what the compliance is.
Cool. Do you know that you can lose your LLC? Did you know that? You can lose it. Yeah. And being that that you're an LLC, that means that you have to file a Schedule C, and that's a huge audit risk. Did you know that?
No. Did not know that.
Okay. What about finances? Your personal budget? How does that play into your business? Right? Not sure.
Not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you pay yourself now that you're?
After I get the job, pay myself and the profit from the job.
Okay. How much profit?
By the hour.
Oh, because that's part. So then, how do you reallocate the money into your business? You got business budget, right?
For operating expenses, yeah.
But then, how much of your income, your business income, can you spend?
25%.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Oh, the sexy part about having a business, write-offs, right? You get the write-off. How? How do you write it off?
Schedule C.
Okay. All right. Mileage, because you drive around, right?
A little bit, yep.
How do you track it?
With a log.
Okay.
gas stove.
All right, cool. What about business meals? Because that's a big
Yes.
deal. Oh, we can go out to eat and it's a big piece to write
Save
off.
the receipts.
Save the receipt. All right. Oh, here's another fancy one.
Uh-oh.
I can deduct my rent. You know, I could write off. You know how to-
Definitely.
Do you know how to do that?
I don't know how to do it, but
Mm.
my accountant does.
Oh.
And she's open for business.
So all of that, like there's a portion of record keeping that you have to do, right, to be in compliance with the LLC. Okay, so cool. You have some people sometimes that help you in the business.
Just subcontractors, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
contractor versus employee, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how do you pay those people?
They are paid by the job.
Cool.
So,
How do you report it?
under my business expenses.
Okay, cool. So now you're self-employed. You have your own business, right? You know you got to pay the IRS 4 times a year.
Yes.
This is called self-employment tax. Right. Now, what about your taxes? What does that look like now? Your personal taxes and your business taxes. What does that look like?
I keep ongoing receipts per month to know what I'm spending.
Okay. But then, how do you prepare your taxes?
Go.
Is it a separate thing? She's a bad model because she knows because we work together, right? I'm working on most of this stuff.
I'll try to be worse. You taught me well.
Yeah, you got to consider taxes now for your business,
Right.
right? And what that looks like. Boom. Let's talk about insurance. Okay. You got to have personal life insurance, right? Because if something happens to you, that's the business. Then what? Right? What about commercial insurance? What about liability?
Business liability.
What about errors and omissions, right? You have, how much would you say the value of your equipment?
Just the equipment,
Just the
or
equipment.
inventory?
Just the equipment.
Oh,
Probably 4,000.
Okay. And then what about inventory?
God, I just did manual inventory. Right now, 6,000.
Cool. Who gets that if something happens? You got a will?
That is one I need to work on. I would love to talk to you about that one.
Guess what? M just got the dopest contract. She's gonna be the first millionaire in her family. Right?
Woo!
Let's go. So you know, the more money you make, the more money you're gonna owe.
Yes.
Right.
Unfortunately.
What's the plan?
To look at donations.
Okay.
Where I can donate in the community.
Okay.
To defer some of that.
It's tax planning.
mm-hmm.
You got a plan for that? All right. Some of the strategies that you just came up with. Right? Tax strategies of how you avoid owing more. Right? All right. So you got all this money. You done your thing. You came up with some strategies to save more money. It's time for you to retire.
Can I please? Okay,
How
I
we
love
gonna
that
do that?
word.
How we gonna do it? We got
Yeah, we
401k.
gotta talk. We gotta talk.
Are we investing in some of that tax strategy, investing into future? Yeah. Right?
Very, not enough.
What about long-term care? God forbid you get in a position where you cannot do anything.
Wow.
What do you have in place?
Yes.
Are your kids gonna have to worry about some facility telling them that they have to sell all of your things in order for you to get the care that you need?
That needs to be considered.
And because I'm self-employed, do I get Medicare? Like, no, you're fine. Do I qualify for Medicare? Like, will I be able to take advantage of that system because I'm self-employed?
I think so.
You think?
That's a good.
Answering all these questions And there's more, right? Clearly there's more. But what I've realized is that every area that I've been in, every source of knowledge, education, the years of experience has given me the ability to create that.
Aww.
Yay! And so that's what I do. I help creatives answer all the questions.
It's beautiful.
I love
Keep doing
that.
what you're doing because I need you.
I'm here. I got you.